All right, everybody, another night, another time to party on the old NASROD. We're at like 30 something days and counting to SEMA, and I got to get my butt in gear. I got to finish up a bunch of plumbing. I got to finish up a bunch of wiring. I got to change the drive shaft out. I got to change the axles out. I got to add the rear wheel woods for the drift brake. What else I got to do? I still got to put a body on it after we do some testing. I want to have this thing all ironed out and tested before we put the body on it. Got to mount the seats. Got to make sure the steering column's good. Yeah, I got a lot to do. So tonight we're going to be tackling a bunch of the plumbing. I'm waiting on some fittings to show up, but I do have a bunch here, and we got more than enough to do. And I have to make some fittings for the oil pump just because of tight clearances, but I'll show you guys what's up with that. But it's not getting done with me talking to this camera, so let's get after it. All right, y'all, so I got quite a bit done. I changed the fuel rail fittings, made these new fuel feed lines for the nitrous, coolant stuff here, this crossover line here, this air bleed line, return for the oil pump, the feed to the oil pump. What else did I get done here? I got my butt absolutely kicked by these lines down here. These are the scavenge lines from the oil pan to the pump. I actually ended up making this last fitting here on the end. I took one of these blanks and drilled it and tapped it 1/2-inch pipe thread, and then put a number 10 swivel on that. And that one there will come around up into right there, the valley cover. So that's the number 10. So I almost have all of this done. These here can go back on. Here and here, we'll get those back on there. Trying to think what else I got. Waiting on some more fittings. I think basically I have to do this number 10 line up to here, which I think I have the fittings for that. And then I need a number 12 90 out of there, and that will feed into the oil cooler, which is this one, into the top here. Now, actually it'll feed into the bottom. So it'll 90 there into the bottom. Now the top of here, come around to the oil filter, which will be here. Oh, and I also made this line from there to there from the block. So basically I just got to get the oil pressure line to the oil filter, to the cooler, and then the oil system will be done completely. And the coolant system is done up here. I just got to plumb it to the rear. Which is pretty easy. It's basically a fitting here, which I think I'm going to do 45 down. And then I got to make sure that I got a fitting for this guy. I might have to cut that off actually and make something kind of come out and then have a fitting. Or I might just 45 it down and come under. We'll see how that goes. But I'm getting really close. I'm getting really close, and then this here will come up here to our radiator cap, which I'm going to put up here. I haven't got that made yet either. Waiting on all those fittings. I still got the air system to plumb. I still have a little bit of fuel system. I got the fuel return line. I think I need to put a new fitting on this up here. These two black fittings here will get replaced for the water. And same back here, these two fittings will get placed for the water. And then I have this whole complete, let me walk around here. I'm tired, as you can tell. I have this whole complete rear bulkhead I need to do plumbing on. So power steering pressure, power steering return, fuel feed, fuel return, water feed, water return. And then the transmission / diff cooler feed and return. So it's all pretty easy stuff. I think we got the high pressure line for the oil pump done, so that's gonna be easy. And I have my reservoir I need to get down into my power steering pump. That'll be easy, but I really want to get all the oil lines done, which I have almost all done. I'm just waiting on the fittings, except for maybe the number 10 that comes up and around, which is easy now that I made that fitting. I can get right to it. Yeah, this has been quite a huge plumbing project because I'm replumbing the whole thing, engine, fuel system, everything. So as you can see, it's got all these really nice colored fittings on here. And then doing the bulkheads, we added so many more fittings, but it allows us to have this thing completely serviceable. Because if I hurt a line up here, I can just get a short piece of line. Rarely does anything here fail. And then in the back, if anything was to fail, it's just another short piece of line. Which is cheaper to repair, easier to find pieces at the track because people always have like short scraps. You're not gonna find a 20-foot section of number 10 line at the track. Like, it just is so rare to happen. I would be the guy that would have it, and I probably won't have it. So yeah, we just got a lot of plumbing done, a lot of plumbing left to do. If I could quit yawning, this would be a better video, but I don't know if that's gonna be, it's not gonna be it for this video because I'm gonna continue tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then I'm gonna, once the plumbing's done and I know all the routing and how make sure everything's through the bulkheads, I can put the wiring through the bulkheads and get all that figured out. And my goal is by this weekend to have the plumbing done and the wiring pretty close to done, if not done, this thing ready to fire up. So it still won't be ready to fire up because I gotta build headers, but if I could have the plumbing and the wiring done, and we still got to pull the transmission out and change the drive shaft and change the axles. So if I could have all that done by the end of this next weekend, that'll be good. But yeah, that's it for tonight, y'all.